Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 3. Within this week, we're going to talk about supply and demand planning. Also, within this week, we're also going to talk about quality management from a supply chain perspective. So, I say it in a number of lectures. I say it within the course content in that, a lot of people within an organization believe that quality management is a responsibility of the quality department. Where whenever we're talking about total quality management, quality is the responsibility of everyone throughout the entire supply chain. It goes outside of the four walls of the organization. So we need to assess quality from a supplier perspective. We need to assess quality from a business partner perspective. And that's one thing that's very important. And that's one thing we're going to be discussing this week. Also, this week, we're going to talk about the sales and operations planning, where sales and operations planning, similar to quality, is a responsibility of the engineering department, of the manufacturing department, of the finance department, of the sales department, of the marketing department, to come together, to come to a consensus, to ensure this medium range plan is aligned with all departments of the organization, so that sales says, okay, our sales forecasts are this, and then finance says you only have this certain amount of budget. Manufacturing comes back and says we can only produce this particular number because of our capacity. Then engineering says it's going to take a long time for us to produce this prototype, which you're selling now. And so that means that sales and operations planning is one thing that's very important in that it ensures that everyone is on the same accord from a planning perspective, so that everyone can meet their deadlines, so that we can provide optimal customer service. Another discussion that we're going to have is in terms of aggregate planning. And aggregate planning is one concept that some people struggle with, but to break it down very quickly in this weekly introduction is that we have 3 different strategies. We have a level strategy, we have a chase strategy, we have a hybrid strategy. Within the level strategy, we are ensuring that we have a level number of employees every single week to perform the activities. We can have a level number of products that we're producing, and we're not deviating from that number. With a chase strategy, one thing I always say, one thing you're going to see in the video is the easiest way to remember the chase strategy is I'm always going to be chasing my demand. As my demand goes up, I'm bringing more people in, I'm producing more products. As my demand goes down, I'm sending people home, I'm producing less products. And in a number of different environments, people are familiar with the hybrid strategy. And within a hybrid strategy, I always refer to it as we start with a baseline and we adjust. So we're going to start with a baseline of employees. So if I look at a restaurant, I'm going to start with 5 servers, for example. Right. And if demand goes up, then I'll be able to call in additional servers. Same thing with a hospital. I'm going to start off with a baseline number of nurses. And that's why you have nurses on call. That's why you have doctors on call. As more people come into the hospital, I call doctors in. As patients are discharged, I ask nurses who wants to go home. I ask for volunteers. So this whole aggregate planning process is one thing that we do in a number of industries. But if you just understand that there's a strategy applied to how your organization plans their workforce, plans their inventory, it'll be easier to understand. Have a great week. I look forward to collaborating with you all.